The restaurant had the kind of lighting designed to soften everything: skin, edges, awkwardness. It didn't work. From the moment Daniel walked in, he felt the familiar tightening behind his ribs. Not anxiety exactly, recognition. The same low, grade vigilance he'd carried into family gatherings for years, like bringing an umbrella to a climate that never changed. The table was already crowded. His brother Mark sat at the center, leaning back with the casual ownership of someone who had chosen the place, chosen the wine, chosen the narrative. Their parents flanked him. Cousins filled the remaining seats. Coats draped over chair backs like territorial flags. Daniel paused beside the table. Mark looked up first. "There he is," he said, smiling in a way that didn't quite include him. "Hey." There was a ripple of greetings, half waves, the polite warmth reserved for someone both familiar and peripheral. Daniel scanned the chairs. No space. He waited, expecting the small choreography of adjustment, someone sliding over, another chair magically appearing. Instead, Mark followed his gaze, then smirked. He said lightly, "This table's for family only." A beat. Then he pointed. Near the aisle, beside a narrow stand holding a plastic bin lined with a discreet black bag, sat a folded metal chair. Laughter scattered around the table. Not loud, not cruel. The comfortable laughter of people who sensed no real danger in the joke. Daniel felt heat rise briefly into his face. An old reflex, his body remembering humiliation faster than his mind. He smiled. "Classic," one cousin said. "Relax, we're kidding," Mark added, though no one moved. Daniel pulled the chair open. The metal legs scraped faintly against the floor. He positioned himself beside the trash stand, angled slightly away from the table. The conversation resumed with surprising ease. Vacation plans, work complaints, someone describing a kitchen renovation in exhaustive detail. Daniel nodded when eyes flicked toward him. He laughed when appropriate, from a distance of less than 2 feet. He felt oddly absent, as if watching a documentary in which he'd once played a role but no longer did. He studied the small things instead. How Mark's hand rested possessively on the table when the waiter poured wine. How their mother leaned in toward Mark, her attention orbiting him unconsciously. How easily the seating arrangement had solidified into something that looked accidental from the outside. The waiter returned with appetizers, moving with the smooth neutrality of someone trained not to notice social fractures. "Can I get you anything else?" he asked. Everyone shook their heads. Daniel declined another drink. Time passed without resistance. The discomfort Daniel had anticipated dulled into something quieter. Less like pain. More like clarity. A steady observation forming without drama. When the plates were cleared, the waiter placed a black leather folder gently near Mark. "Whenever you're ready." The table's energy shifted almost imperceptibly. Mark opened the folder. There was a brief pause. Then a low whistle. 3,200, he said. Voices overlapped. "What? No way. That can't be right." Wine, multiple courses, upgraded selections, the arithmetic of indulgence. The folder rotated. Heads leaned together. Brows furrowed. Someone laughed uncertainly. Then, slowly, eyes drifted toward Daniel. It wasn't coordinated. It never was. Just the natural convergence of long-standing assumptions. Daniel met the looks calmly. Mark tilted his head. "Well," he said, tapping the folder, "guess we know who did well this year." A few smiles. An expectant silence. The waiter stood nearby, pen poised, expression politely blank. Daniel felt the old script rising in the room. The version of him that had once rushed to smooth things over, to earn ease, to purchase belonging in whatever currency was requested. He noticed something else instead. The absence of urgency. He folded his hands loosely in his lap. The waiter glanced at him. "Sir," he asked gently. Daniel smiled. "Not my table." The words landed without force. No edge, no apology. For a moment no one reacted. Mark blinked. "Come on," he said, chuckling. "Very funny." Daniel's expression didn't change. "I didn't make the reservation." The waiter shifted his attention back to Mark with professional precision. "Yes, payment is attached to the booking name," he said, "Well, need the host's card. The clarity of policy, clean, impersonal, immune to family dynamics." Mark's smile thinned. "Well," he said, reaching for his wallet, "that's convenient." No one laughed this time. Cards emerged. Calculations began. Voices dropped into the strained practicality of damage control. Daniel watched quietly. No triumph, no vindication. Just a strange, steady lightness. The evening unraveled into logistical murmurs and forced normalcy. Chairs scraped. Coats were reclaimed. Goodbyes exchanged with exaggerated casualness. Mark avoided Daniel's eyes. Outside, the air felt sharper, unfiltered. Daniel walked toward his car, the noise of the restaurant fading behind him. Nothing had been repaired. Nothing dramatically broken. Yet something had shifted with unmistakable finality. For the first time, the distance he'd felt at the table no longer resembled exclusion. It felt like freedom.